my YouTube friends? If you just installed DaVinci Resolve and hit new project without touching a single setting, you're already working against yourself. Most beginners spend weeks fighting lag, stuttery playback, and washed out exports before they figure out that the problem isn't their footage and it isn't their computer. It's this collection of settings exactly where Blackmagic Design shipped them. And I'm gonna walk you through every single one so we can fix them and your stuff's gonna work better. So you know what? Let's get to it! Here's what nobody tells you when you first open Resolve. The defaults are all built for professional post-production environments. Now you may have a great machine, but I highly doubt you're really set up for professional post-production. So Resolve assumes that you know what DaVinci YRGB color science means. It assumes you've already matched your timeline to your actual camera. It assumes CPU rendering is set perfectly. And none of these assumptions are correct for most people who are probably watching this. So you know what? We're gonna fix them, starting with the settings that are gonna make the biggest immediate difference. Open Preferences on Mac. On Windows, it's DaVinci Resolve Preferences in the top left menu. Now go to System, Memory, and GPU. First, GPU processing mode. If you're on an NVIDIA card, this needs to say CUDA. Mac users, Metal, AMD on Windows should be OpenCL. If it says Auto, Resolve is making a guess every time you open it. Don't let it guess, make it explicit. Now right below the GPU section, if you have more than one GPU, make sure Resolve is pointed at your dedicated card, not your integrated graphics chip. This is especially common on laptops. The integrated graphics is the default on a lot of machines, and that's gonna absolutely tank your performance if DaVinci is selecting it. Now on my machine, I actually do have two dedicated graphics cards, and I can select either one or both. Now system memory. Resolve defaults to using roughly half of your available RAM. And if you have 16 gigs or more, well, you probably want to go with 70 to 75%. If you have more than 16 gigabytes of RAM, you can obviously jack that up as well. When you're editing, Resolve should be the only thing that needs the headroom, so give it the beans. Give it as much as you can spare. Last one, in Preferences, go to System and then Decode Options. Look for Use Hardware Accelerated Video Decoding. If that box isn't checked, your CPU is decoding every single frame of footage on its own, so you need to check that box. Now we're going to close Preferences and open Project Settings. This is the gear icon in the bottom right of your interface. Now you're looking at Master Settings. The very first thing that you see are timeline resolution and timeline frame rate, and these need to match your footage. Not your export target, your actual source footage. If you shot it in 1080 at 30 frames per second and Resolve defaults to 24 frames per second, every clip on your timeline is being converted in real time. And that's wasted processing. And it also creates subtle timing issues that can compound over a long edit. Check your footage properties before you build your first timeline. Here's how you do it. You just right click and you go to Properties and you go in here. And this is going to tell you exactly what your frame rate is and exactly what the resolution is. These are the settings that you want to use in DaVinci Resolve. The single most impactful performance setting most beginners never touch. One more, go to the Image Scaling tab in the Project Settings. Change input scaling from Scale Full Frame with Crop to Center Crop with no resizing. See, the thing that happens is the moment that you mix footage from different cameras or different resolutions or different aspect ratios, Resolve will silently stretch or crop the clips to fill the frame if you leave this at the default. Now you probably won't even notice this until you see the export side by side with the original. And this is one that most tutorials skip, which is exactly why it causes so much confusion and annoyance. If you wonder why your clips don't look the same or aren't the same size as what you imported, Well, this setting is why. In project settings now, we're gonna go to the color management tab. Yeah, I know, this one's scary. Color science defaults to DaVinci YRGB. Now this is really important. For most people shooting normal footage destined for YouTube, you wanna leave this exactly where you find it. This is the correct setting for a standard workflow. Where beginners go wrong is they watch a video about wide gamut color management workflows, and they switch to DaVinci Resolve Wide Gamut or something else, and then they wonder why everything looks washed out. Wide Gamut is a full color management pipeline, and it's genuinely powerful. But it also means that every single clip needs an input color space tag, and your timeline needs an explicit output color space transformation to Rec 709 before it's going to look anywhere near correct. And if you don't already understand everything that I just said, then you don't know what it means, and DaVinci YRGB is your setting. And you want to keep that setting there until the color management workflow makes sense. It's a completely separate subject, and it definitely deserves its own video. Last but not least, I have to cover, once again, the delivery page. I don't want anyone to just read too much into this at all. So we're going to go up, and we're not going to do any custom exports. We're going to go right to YouTube. You're going to select the resolution that you filmed in. If you filmed in 1080, you're going to select 1080. If you filmed in 4K, you're going to select 4K. I filmed in 4K. I'm going to select it. It's going to give me everything I need down to the frames per second and everything. Once you get to this point, all you have to do is add your file name and the location you want to save it to. And if we look down here, I can just select Normalize Audio. It will normalize my audio for what YouTube is looking for. Normalize to the standard, and you can see the standard here is YouTube. Now, if you don't understand how all of this standardization is done, well, I did a video on how that works, and you should probably check that out right here. Add it to the render queue, and then just come over here, select it, and render it. It's that simple. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one.